Hello everyone, welcome to the channel update for February. I hope everyone's January went well, all things considered. I hate how often I have to say that these days. But let's talk about what's been going on the channel. Not a whole lot to talk about, really. AD&D Chronicle and Final Fantasy X are still ongoing. Final Fantasy X will still be ongoing for quite a while. We are not halfway through that game. AD&D Chronicle might finish up this month. I don't know exactly how much is left, but we have over 100 recruits. I know that there's not too many people left to recruit. So some of it's going to boil down to how much of how many of the mini games do I do, like on screen, especially. How many of the how many of the next story segments will not have any recruits, or like one kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see. Um, there's definitely some characters that we have in the party as of my last recording session that we have not fully gotten into the party, that I suspect we will. So there's that. But that I do think will probably be coming to a close this month. Final Fantasy X, of course, probably not this month. There's a lot left to do in that. Um, so, not. Dragon Quest II is our current stream game. I believe Dragon Quest VII is coming out in a week or so. I think it's like the first week of like or like the second full week of February or something like that. Might actually be the end of the week. I don't know. It's very soon. That will definitely be the follow-up to Dragon Quest II, because I want to play that, and I've been looking forward to it. It looks really nice. I have not played the demo. I have stayed away from that, not because of anything, just like, I know I'm going to play the game. Why play the demo? Kind of thing. And I'm going to do it on stream, so, we'll see how that goes. It looks really nice. People have had a lot of positive things to say about it, so I am definitely looking forward to that. Dragon Quest I is still in there for some reason. I probably should have removed it, but I didn't. Over on Zerfall's channel, over past couple weeks, we've been playing a game called Illusion City for the MSX. An RPG that's kind of shadowpunky, or cyberpunky. Shadowpunk? I was thinking of Shadowrun. When I went to say cyberpunk, whatever. You know what I mean. Near future dystopian Hong Kong, basically. Uh, and it's been pretty fun, interesting. Um, we've been having quite a bit of fun with that. There's a new system on YouTube. It's not great on how it's implemented, but it does allow for collaborations, which is exactly what this is for. So even if you're not subscribed to Zerfall, those videos should show up in your subscription feeds if you're subscribed to me. And well, it wouldn't be vice versa. If I played a game on my channel that he joined me on, then I would do the collaborations with him, and they'd show up in the feeds of people who are subscribed to him. So that's a pretty cool thing. The problem with it is that there's no, like, here's a list of the videos that you're a collaborator on, check them off, or have a window and go say yes, yes, yes kind of thing. You get one link per person. Like, he plays with Mysterious JG, games with Mysterious JG as well. That is a separate link that he can send. It does stay the same. So he just needs to, like, I just need access to that link. But I have to go in and approve every single individual video. You can tell what this was designed for. And it was not designed for this. Boy, it's almost like I keep saying YouTube doesn't like serial content. So weird. So weird how that keeps being true. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's not great. Like, there isn't a central thing. I have to follow that link. I can't go into my creator dashboard and just, like, have a tab that's, like, collaborations and go in there and say, yes, these are, you know, I'm accepting these that someone did. Because, like, I could just say on my latest Final Fantasy X video, I'm collaborating with Grimmeth and Lethal and Mysterious JG and Bobo the Vulture. Yeah, I could just say that. Like, there's no check with the video to see. So I could do that with, like, big channels. Hey, Quill, guess what? I'm collaborating with you on Final Fantasy X now, in hopes that it shows up in the feed of people who are subscribed to him. But he does have to accept it. The problem is that there's no, like, centralized thing in the you know, in the dashboard that lets me just go in, or just, like, I know Zerfall. I know he's not going to put me as a collaborator on videos that I didn't play a game with him on. I would not have a problem with just saying, always approve collaborations with this guy, kind of thing. You know? Always approve collaborations with Mysterious JG and Bobo the Vulture and Lethal Feline, and, you know, all that kind of thing. I could do that if they had the system set up. And then, you know, you could go in and, like, oh, some random person is claiming I'm collaborating with them on their Let's Play. No, never approve from this person, kind of thing. And then, you know, like, they could have a system like that, and that would be perfect for actual, like, long-term collaborations. But no, it's very much designed for, hey, I'm on a podcast, a single episode of such and such podcast. Put it on as a collaborator. It's weird. It's dumb. That's YouTube. Anyway, so that's what's going on there. Illusion City is following up Briley Witch, which is now done. We may play the second one at some point. Maybe. I don't know. We'll talk about that. Spelljammer is also still ongoing on Saturdays, and Lego building is back after a bit of a break. The end of the month, or the end of December and beginning of January was just it was holidays and then sick, so that didn't we didn't get too many Lego streams last month, but we're back now, continuing on. Of course, those videos, the Dragon Quest 1 and 2, Spelljammer, and the Lego videos, those are all on my, let's see, what is it? It's more links, right. The AuldDragon VODs channel. So there's a VODs channel listed here. I do include links in the descriptions of videos. Please do go subscribe to that channel if you are not. I would like to get to 1,000. We are not there yet. That would allow me to monetize those videos. Right now, that's all unmonetized, so I am losing money. Like, it would be nice to get that money back one of these days. Luckily, I have had a bit of a bounce up in subscribers. We did hit 26,000 subscribers now. That was pretty recent, happened last month, and the subscriber numbers have picked up a little bit. I don't know if that is anything that I've done differently, because I haven't done a whole lot differently. I don't know what's going on there. Just might be the vagaries of YouTube and the algorithm does suck and stuff like that, so I don't know. But things are looking a little bit more positive on that front, at least. For those who want to support the channel and ensure that I can continue to make such videos as all of these, do remember Patreon. It really does go a long way. Do not support me on Patreon through Apple. Make sure you're doing it through a web browser. Apple will add on a big fee on top of it and take it for themselves, and it is disgusting. So if you're going to support me on Patreon, which I hope you want to and hope you do, and hope you can afford it, please do so through a web browser. That way you're not getting charged a massive extra amount just to go to Apple for no reason. It's like Patreon takes between 10 and 15%, depending on the amount that you support and stuff like that, which is a pretty reasonable amount in my opinion. Apple takes on an additional, like, their cut is 30%, if I remember correctly. So if you support someone for $1, Patreon is taking out. I mean, when it's $1, it's a little bit more, but for Patreon. But the point being is that, like, Apple would then charge you $1.30 and take that 30 cents for themselves for no real reason. They're not really involved in this at all. It's disgusting. I don't know why it's even legal. It's even allowed, but it's stupid. Make sure if you're supporting myself or anyone else that you're supporting on Patreon, make sure that you've supported them through just a regular web browser, not through the Apple Store or the app on an iPhone. As far as I know, the app on like Android is fine. So yeah, stupid stuff. Yes, so support me on a Patreon if you can. I would really, really appreciate it. It does go a long way to ensuring that I can continue to produce the videos and the streams. If Patreon isn't something that you can afford or want to do that way, there are channel memberships here on YouTube. There are subscriptions on Twitch. You can also do one-off things with bits or Ko-fi. That's another. Those are other good ways of doing it. However it is that you want to support, that would be fantastic. All the videos are free anyway, but supporting me does ensure that I can continue to actually produce this stuff. I had to do some major hardware changes this year. So that's one of the things that paid for, with some very generous donations from viewers as well, like specifically towards that, in addition to their other support. But also, like, I used funds from Patreon that goes towards paying for my internet service provider and ensuring that I have a roof over my head and I have food and stuff like that. So please do consider supporting me through any of those methods if you can do so. If you cannot, there are other ways to support the channel. Watching the videos fully, even like if you're cutting it off like 10 seconds before the end, that does actually make a difference. There is like apparently a kind of a cheesy way of trying to build up your algorithm numbers by putting up a video, letting people watch it, and then editing it down so it's shorter, so that the average view time appears, rather than like 8 minutes out of 20 minutes, it's 8 minutes out of 10 minutes, which looks a lot better than 8 minutes out of 20 minutes. And that's like just the fact that they have an algorithm that can have that happen. It just encourages all kinds of like shenanigans, in my opinion. I think that eliminating the algorithm entirely would be better. I think it would be better for everyone. I think it would generate more income for myself and other viewers of, other creators of my type. But obviously, people willing to do the shenanigans are would lose out. I don't think YouTube cares one way or the other, as long as they're making the money, which sucks. But yes, so watching the videos fully. If you have something to say, leave a comment. Make sure you like the video. All of that does show, show to the algorithm that it's a quality video that the algorithm should promote to other people. That's the whole reasoning behind all of that. So if you're interested in supporting the channel and you can't afford anything, that is a great way of doing it. Not just me, for other people that you watch on YouTube as well. All of that does go a long way to helping them out. And of course, if you know people who you think might like my videos, point them in my direction. Word of mouth is a great way of getting new people in. Of course, viewers who are supporting me through Patreon, their names are scrolling by at the bottom of the screen, and it really does mean a lot to me that you are continuing to support me. I really do appreciate it. It means a whole lot, as do all the people who support me on here on YouTube with the channel memberships. Twitch subscriptions, bits, Ko-fi, all of that. It really does help a lot. I really do appreciate it, every single one of you. There is a little icon so I can see when I'm looking at comments here on YouTube who is a channel member and whatnot, and it really does make me happy to see that. It really does. It's really nice. So I want to thank you guys once again for all of that. For those who've been watching the channel for a while, you do know that for many years, I was working on the Monster Mythology update for Dungeons & Dragons. I did finish that. All of those are I still consider them drafts, and I need to go back and edit them and stuff like that. But I have decided that while I get to that, I'm terrible at editing. While I get around to that, I have started a new project, and that is working on the Greco-Roman mythology. Last month we had Okeanos, this month we have Tethys, who... It should be Tethys, the TH in ancient Greek, as well as PH and CH or KH. They're all aspirated, so that's why you get Chimera rather than Chimera. But most of the PH and TH words have come to us through either other languages or just plain English with that pronunciation. That's why we get the TH sound or the F sound for PH when they should be aspirated. So I did include that in the pronunciation here. But if people want to say Tethys, I mean, I say Tethys. That's what I'm used to. So, but for those who want a more accurate ancient Greek pronunciation, I decided to put that in. And I'll be doing that for like all of them, which is why I had Okeanos rather than Oceanus. Because Okeanos is the Greek, and Oceanus is the late Latin. So, fun stuff in my research, finding all this stuff. I mean, I knew it, but really delving into and figuring out exactly where, which ones are those old pronunciations and which are later pronunciations and stuff like that. That's been part of it. But Tethys is Okeanos' wife. She is the mother of waters because she is the mother of all the Potamoi and Okeanids. The Potamoi are named for each individual river in ancient Greek culture. Each river had its own god. They were descended from Okeanos and Tethys. So I put that in there, and then the Oceanids or Okeanids are water nymphs. They oversaw like springs, clouds, rain, wide variety of freshwater sources, kind of thing. So in that case, like she literally is the mother of water. So that's been a lot of fun. So do check out that write-up. I will, of course, include a link in the description below if you are interested in seeing my write-up. Of course, like I'm blending in a mixture of actual ancient Greek mythology where possible, and then also, especially for the Titans, which I'm starting with, big extrapolations out on what that might mean in a D&D style religious system, because most of the Titans weren't actually worshipped. They were never actually worshipped. Most of them exist as literary characters to get from point A to point B, kind of thing, to explain the origins of the world and concepts and stuff like that, as opposed to the actual deities who were genuinely worshipped at various temples and stuff like that. Tethys and Okeanos are interesting because they had a lot of iconography, even though they never were actually worshipped. And that I find very interesting. Anyway, check that out if you have not. That is most of what's going on the channel. Before I wrap up, I do want to say a couple things. Um, Here in the US, we are coming up to the midterm elections later this year, and it is very important for everyone to register to vote, go vote, get involved in the primaries, vote in the primaries. That has a huge impact on who actually is running, ends up running in the general elections. And a good way to think about them is that they are a party selection process. You vote in the primary so that you can make your voice heard on the direction you want a political party to go in. That's how it works here in the U.S. It's not how it works in every place that has parties. I mean, you basically end up with parties no matter how much you try not to in any kind of political system, because it's literally like, like-minded people coming together, pooling resources, pooling together. Um, it's no real different from a union. It's no real different from a trade association, that kind of thing. It is basically an association. Our system here in the U.S. sucks because it naturally devolves to two parties. And unfortunately, right now, we have a party in power that is authoritarian, which is antithetical to the entire democratic nature of our country. They cannot be allowed in power anymore. They should not be allowed in power anymore, and we need to get them out. And we've already seen, like, this month has been tremendously awful on showing just how completely unfit they are for power, and how they should not be allowed near it ever again. So I encourage everyone here in the United States to register to vote, register for a party so that you can vote in the primaries. And when I say register for a party, I'm talking about the Democratic Party at this point. They're the only Democratic Party, like, and lowercase d Democratic Party now. We have an authoritarian party and we have a democracy party. That's how it is now. And if you want major changes to our systems, so that we can have more parties, we should have more parties. There should be legitimate non-authoritarian conservative parties in this country. There should be more liberal parties, left-wing parties in this country. Actual Green Party, liberals, left, center-left, all those things. There should be multiple parties that sometimes work together, sometimes don't. But the only way to have a multi-party system is to actually get involved and vote for people who are going to support systems that allow for more parties. Ranked choice voting is a good way of doing that. Multi-member districts for the House, for legislatures, also a good way to do that. We need to fix the Senate so that it's not so disproportionate. It is very wrong that Wyoming and Rhode Island have the same number of senators as California, considering the vast differences in their population sizes. So these things need to be fixed. They need to be changed. The way to do it, get involved in the primary process, look at the primary, the people running for primary elections, choose the ones who are going to go for these changes, and vote for them. And then when the general, even if they don't win, we got to vote for the Democrat in the general election. There's no choice. It's either that or you're voting to end the government of this country. Because, like, we will continue to have elections, but they would not be real if we allow for an authoritarian takeover. It is fundamentally incompatible with the Constitution. And thus, it is, like, you cannot legitimately be a member of our government and be an authoritarian. They're incompatible because you're anti-democratic at that point. You're anti-democracy. And we need to get those people out. We need to block them from power. We need to break their power, and they need to never be allowed near power ever again. And then we need to change our systems to have a more robust and fair democracy that actually listens to people, gets money out of the system, breaks the power of the wealthy, the incredible concentration of wealth that we have right now is now worse than it was during the Gilded Age, which is a byword for rich people being too powerful. So all these things need to happen, but it all does come from certain points. And one of those is getting the authoritarian people out of power. And that means not voting for Republicans. Doesn't matter what level they are at this point. The entire party is complicit. It is unfixable at this point. The fact that they are still voting for ICE after ICE has murdered 2 Americans, it's too far gone. Like, there's no fixing that. If there are legitimate conservative Democrats, as in people who support democracy, lowercase d Democrats, still within the voting group of Republicans, they need to form a new party. They need to split off and form a new party and stand up for the democratic values, if that's what they want, or vote for Democrats. It's one of the two. They cannot continue to vote for the Republicans and claim to be supporters of democracy anymore. There's just no possibility there. So, all that said, get involved. It is so important to get involved. The bare minimum: vote in the primaries, vote in the general. Every single, whether it's a special election, whether it's a midterm, whether it's a primary, whether it is a referendum, get involved and vote. Never be someone who stays at home at this point. No one should be staying home for an election. Go out and vote. And with that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Let's hope that February is better. Be good to one another. It is very important to continue to be good. One of the things that I'm extremely proud of this country is seeing the people in Minnesota stand up for their neighbors. Take that to heart. Be like them. They are heroes. And my mother is Minnesotan. She grew up in Minnesota, born and raised in Minnesota. Obviously doesn't live there now, but it is like having that connection with Minnesota through her makes it all the more personal for me that all this is going on there, because like there are so many great people have come out of Minnesota that have affected me personally. Like Mystery Science Theater 3000. We would not have Mystery Science Theater 3000 without Minnesota. And that's been a huge influence on me. And of course, my mother, and so many others. Prince was Minnesotan, and he is, sadly passed a number of years ago, but still widely regarded as one of the greats in the music industry. And it's just like, that's Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota is fantastic in that way. So seeing them all come out to support their neighbors and not get cowed by the violence aimed at them, by what amounts to an occupying army, an occupying military force, makes me proud to, be descended from a Minnesotan. It makes me proud to have that connection, and it makes me proud of people in my country willing to stand up against the genuine evil that is being unleashed there. So, support them, get involved, get political, because we cannot be unpolitical in this time. At this time, I can't remember who said it, but someone said something along the lines of like, being neutral in the face of this kind of thing is allowing the worst people to succeed. I'm pretty sure I'm butchering, like I know I'm butchering that tremendously, but there's a quote something like that, and I don't remember who said it, but it's very much along those lines. We cannot be neutral at a time like this. So join me in thanking our Minnesotan brethren for doing what they're doing, and people in other regions, Portland, Maine, Chicago, Illinois, just to think of two that are in similar situations right now that are dealing with this kind of thing. They're the best of America right now, facing the worst of America. So on that note, I want to thank you guys for watching, and let's hope that February is a lot better than January was. See you next time, everyone.